In the United States, more than 25 million people are known to have asthma. About 7 million of those people are children. That is a scary statistic if you ask me. Almost one-third of the people that have asthma is under the age of 18. The condition is multiplying quickly, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the condition, how it affects people, and how I, someone with asthma, goes about living with this condition. The reason I am speaking upon this epidemic is because asthma is growing rapidly, and people need to know the signs and dangers of the condition. After this speech, you will have more info of asthma and how it affects others as well as me every day. One of the most dangerous things about asthma is the lack of knowledge of the actual condition. Asthma is a medical condition that is developing to be more common and is still not truly understood. The medical diagnosis of asthma is difficult to determine due to the fluctuation of symptoms. The problem with diagnosing asthma is most of the time patients do not have obvious symptoms when they arrive at the doctor's office. For instance, you can cough or wheeze for a week, but when you get to the doctor's office, you have no symptoms. And then later on that day, then have an asthma attack and have signs of shortness of breath, coughing, and wheezing. Asthma is diagnosed by various lung function tests, such as spirometry, which is used to see if there's any inducement of signs of asthma. Further testing of allergy testing, and sometimes chest x-rays. The simplest of symptoms possible with asthma include difficulty catching one's breath after exposed to certain allergens or exercise, harsh cough or wheeze, and chest pains that may flare up from time to time. Asthma is a condition that is not treated when symptoms occur. The outcome is fatal. The diagnosis of asthma usually begins around the age of 5 and traces either one or both parents having asthma. Having allergies with specific allergens, and those diagnosed with eczema, a skin condition that causes the skin to be very sensitive, and certain allergens can cause dry skin, are more likely to develop this condition. Another issue about asthma is trying to determine which type and how severe the condition of a certain individual. There are two main types of asthma. Asthma can be induced in two basic ways: sports-induced or allergen-induced asthma. These two types are pretty much self-explanatory, meaning there's flare-ups between exercise and other reaction to a known allergen. The different classifications of asthma are based on the symptoms and how regular they appear. The four classifications are intermittent, mild persistent, moderate persistent, and severe persistent. I personally would be classified as a moderate persistent, especially during allergy season. Once someone is diagnosed, they are usually started on a 6-week trial of test medications to benefit their symptoms best. Lastly, I would like to describe what it's like living with asthma. Asthma has affected my daily life ever since I was diagnosed at the age of 6. My father has asthma, and I am unfortunate enough to have both sports-induced and allergen-induced asthma, a double whammy. And to top it all off, I have the skin condition eczema, which is the one I talked about in the first point. Growing up, I've always was going, whether it was playing sports like baseball or soccer or in the woods with the Boy Scouts. My asthma condition was always put to the test. I never let it stop me though. I continued on playing sports into the high school where I played football and overcame the obstacles. I took allergy shots as a child to boost my immune system and help regulate both my allergy and asthma issues. As I've gotten older, I still take medications for both allergies and asthma, and I have a rescue inhaler for when I have flare-ups or asthma attacks. You can never be too prepared when it comes to asthma. In closing, I would like to reflect on my high points of my presentation. I hope everyone has learned something about asthma and how serious this matter can be. Today we learned what condition asthma is exactly, explained the different types and classifications of asthma, and I even told you a little bit about the history of how I was diagnosed and what my life is like with asthma. Asthma is a serious issue, and I hope after this speech, everyone can leave with the understanding and knowledge of this important subject. Thank you.